Some major moves for our Socceroos and Matildas stars and a busy week in the A-League women's competition. Let's run through all the latest transfer news. First of all, Socceroos captain Matty Ryan finally has a new club. He has signed a one-year deal with Levante in La Liga in Spain, a league that he has been in previously. An option for an extra season as well there for Matty Ryan. It's going to be so important for him to get regular game time over the next season with the World Cup next year. The latest Socceroos squad that was just recently dropped, Matty Ryan not a part of that squad. So we'll see what happens with him over the next season. If he gets that game time, I'm sure he'll still be involved for the Socceroos. He's obviously the captain of the side as well. So great to see him finally secure a new club for the upcoming campaign. Marco Tilio also has a new club. He's heading to Austria, joining up with SK Rapid from Celtic, a permanent deal, taking him all the way through to the end of the 2028-29 season. So it's a big move for Marco Tilio and a move that hopefully sees him get plenty of game time again with that World Cup next year. Not currently part of the upcoming Socceroos squad, Marco Tilio, but we know a player with immense talent and such a dangerous, tricky winger. I really highly rate Marco Tilio, and hopefully this move is one that sees him continue to progress his career. Obviously, it was always going to be tricky at Celtic trying to break into the first team there. So Marco Tilio heading to Austria for a new adventure. And a move for Alana Kennedy, the Matildas centre-back, has joined up with London City Lionesses, joining over after playing recently over in the US. So a move for Alana Kennedy, who again has become really one of the key experienced defenders for the Matildas, especially with a number of younger players coming through. She is such a key player for the Tillies, and heading into the Asian Cup next year, again, an important move for her to make sure she is not just playing regularly, but playing at a good league over there in the WSL in England as well. So we wish Alana all the best with this move also. Let's jump into our news back in the A-League, and Oscar Priestman departing Western Sydney Wanderers to join up with Motherwell, yet another Aussie player going from the A-League to Scotland. And Wanderers have seen a few players now, some big departures from them over this past season. As we know, Zach Sapsford and Nicholas Milanovic already heading over to Scotland from Wanderers. Oscar Priestman is another one. And this is a guy who was so underrated, especially last season, especially with that injury to Dylan Shikluna relatively early on in the campaign. Oscar Priestman stepped up and is such a consistent performer for Western Sydney Wanderers over the last campaign, and I could really see him flourishing in Scotland. And he's one of these guys who, again, with some good performances over there, he could see himself pushed to the Socceroos squad, I think, in the near future. That's for sure. A real promising player there, Oscar Priestman. So congrats on the move. A-League women's news now. A huge announcement from Sydney FC. Princess Abini departing the club after 10 years with the Sky Blues. As they say there, this post from Sydney FC, 6 trophies, 8 grand finals, just a fantastic career with Sydney FC. And she's become a player who is synonymous with Sydney FC and all the success that they have achieved over the years in the A-League women's competition. Just a fantastic player, and we wish her all the best on her future adventures, Princess Abini. It's a big loss there, though, for Sydney FC, that's for sure. But the Sky Blues have wasted no time with recruitment as well. Riley Tanner joining the club, Panama International. Now, you might remember Riley Tanner playing against the Matildas in those friendlies against Australia. She was playing for Panama, of course, against Australia just a couple months ago. And I remember we really highlighted her as one of the top dangerous players for Panama. She was really exciting in those friendly matches, playing off that left wing from memory. 25-year-old winger joining over from the US. So it looks like a really, really good piece of business there for Sydney FC, who, again, are really been busy with recruitment this transfer window as they look to bounce back after a disappointing A-League women's campaign last time around. News elsewhere in the A-League women's competition, Lydia Williams announcing her retirement from professional football. Absolute legend. Obviously, recently spending time with Melbourne Victory, but Matilda's goalkeeper as well. We wish Lydia all the best going forward. Again, absolute legend. Melbourne Victory have announced the re-signings of Courtney Newman, Rachel Lowe, and Nikki Flannery as well, so strengthening the side there. And they have also announced the re-signings of Ella O'Grady and Laura Pickett for the upcoming season. Heading over to their rivals, Melbourne City, Devon Jackson has been recruited by City, as well as, I really like the signing, 18 Keane, Australian under-23 international, a player who I think will really add a lot to Melbourne City's attack, and two players there in both Jackson and Keane who will, again, provide competition for places, provide depth there. And you just look at what City have done already in this A-League Women's transfer window, recruiting so well. You got to say they're probably favourites once again to go all the way and at least win the premiership. And obviously they are building a strong side, knowing that they've got the A-League Women's Champions League competition coming up again next season as well. So two big moves there for Melbourne City. Canberra United have been continuing their recruitment for the new season. Please excuse this post here, the screenshot cutting off some of the faces of the players. But 4 re-signings here for Canberra. A key one there, Sally James, Matildas goalkeeper there, being re-signed at Canberra United. So important to lock down their star goalkeeper there for the upcoming season. Over at Perth Glory, Jess Skinner and Misha Anderson re-signing for the upcoming season. They have re-signed a lot of their players from last season, Perth Glory. So very much a similar squad to last season up to this point for Glory. Over at Adelaide United, Nanako Sasaki has departed the Reds, but this past week they have announced 8 re-signings, and some key ones here as well. Fiona Wirtz is a big one there, but Claudia Jenkins is their star goalkeeper as well. Matilda McNamara amongst the re-signings. So some key moves here for Adelaide United as they look to back up what was a really strong campaign from them last season, the season before, really struggling. But the way they responded and finished in a finals position last time around, they'll be hoping for a similar feat this coming season as well there at Adelaide United. Newcastle Jets, as mentioned earlier, Devon Jackson joining Melbourne City. She is joining from Newcastle Jets, the Jets confirming her departure this past week. And that wraps up our A-League transfer news for this past week. A little bit of a quieter week this week, as we know the men's transfer window just has a couple weeks to go. The A-League men's transfer window, the women's transfer window goes for a little bit longer, but we'll make sure to keep you guys up to date on all the transfer news over the next few weeks. So make sure to stay subscribed. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the like button on the way out. My name's Lockie. See you in the next one.